Hello. I was reading all your comments. Hello. Welcome to Thursday Night Live, back on Thursdays. And Adam's here this time, so it will go much more smoothly than it did last time. So welcome, everybody, and we'll go ahead and get started. I usually name check at the end. Last week, I started really far up the list, so it took me like a half an hour to get through everybody, so I won't start as high this time. So if you want to be name check at the end, just kind of put your just put a goodbye or a comment at the bottom, and I'll say your name and I'll thank you personally. Okay. All right. So thanks everyone for being here. It's we're going through a heat wave here, so it's hot in the room that I'm in, but I will hang in there. And but it should be over tomorrow or Saturday. It should be ending. So it's September. We're having a heat wave. Okay. Is Trump going, I think, to make it to November 5th? Gabriellen thinks he looks pretty rough right now. Yeah. Okay, so let's see about that. So I'm getting he'll make it, but it feels like it's almost like the focus has shifted from winning. I feel like there's other things. There's a different focus. I suppose we could guess that the focus is probably on, doing underhanded things and focusing on all the stuff they're trying to do in all the different states. But I feel like it's like, yes, but the focus has shifted. So that's what I'm getting. I'm getting a yes. But the reason I'm hesitating is because I feel like it's almost like he has other plans, which is interesting. So I don't know if it's maybe a plan B, like if he loses to get out of the country or something like that. But it feels like he has other plans. And I don't think it's other plans besides the election. That's why I'm hesitating. I think it's just his focus has shifted and his plans have changed. I don't know. I don't fully understand, but that's what I'm getting. Maybe that we're we need to kind of wait and see what's going on here, but I may not have any context for this yet. So it's like the plans have changed, the focus has shifted. So physically, I guess he'll still be here and be kind of on the ballot. So, okay. Will Judge Merchan delay Donald's sentencing until after the election? I don't feel like he's going to delay it until after the election, but I do feel like there's something about it that is delayed. I think it might be what the sentence is, because if it's jail time, he may say to be served after the election or something like that, because it feels like something is delayed, but I don't think it's the decision. So yeah. So I guess the answer is I don't see him delaying the sentencing. Um, but yeah, so I'll just leave it at that. Where do you see Elon Musk in 2025? He's really throwing his weight behind old Donald to win. Yeah. Well, and he doesn't have the best judgment. As we've seen lately, he does not have great judgment. There's a lot coming for him. I mean, it felt like a wave. It's almost it almost seems like everything he has now, in a year or two, he won't have any of it. It will be gone. So either it goes underwater or taken away. I'm not sure, but it's gone. There's also there's going to be some stuff coming out about him that's been buried. But it's coming, because I'm seeing like the end of Carrie when the hand comes up out of the grave. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing like things have been buried. It's coming back. It's coming back. Or they thought it was buried, or they thought it was dead, but it's back. Yeah, he's got a lot coming his way, and I feel like, and yeah, like I said, some old stuff coming back that is it does feel really negative. So, but they thought it was buried, or they thought it was gone, and it's not. It's coming back, zombie style. So, yeah. So that's what I'm getting so far. It's like everything's gone. It doesn't mean that all his money is gone. It just means that anything he has right now is like it's vanished. So I would say in 2025, or at least near the end of 25, struggling. He might be someone when I do my 2025 predictions, I usually do them around the beginning of December. I'll throw him in to look at, because something I feel like I it's a little muddy for me right now, because I think there's just a lot coming for that guy. So I may throw him in for my 2025 predictions, because I feel like this may be a very hard year for him. So, okay. The DOJ revealed indictments against an RT, RU Russian based company, paying hundreds of thousands of dollars to right-wing podcasters. Is it also paying others? Yes, yes, yes. So okay, I'm getting that it's like the tip of the iceberg. I feel like there was a lot in what was released by the DOJ, but there's a lot that's still unfolding. I feel like they've got eyes on people. And it was almost like a warning shot to some people, because I feel like there's certain people, probably lawmakers, for entertainment purposes only, probably lawmakers that they don't necessarily want to go after. So I feel like this was kind of a warning, like, we know about this. And so if you're doing this, we're gonna know about it. We're gonna find who's doing this. We're going to find all of you. However, there are a lot of people very dependent on money and things coming from this activity. So, but I feel like they're going to, it's the tip of the iceberg. It feels very much like the Russian stuff with Trump, where it's like we knew there was something going on. We knew that it was kind of big and deep and stuff, but we had no idea all of the intricacies and how it was all, all the little, the web basically that they had built, all those details. And I feel like it's the same kind of thing. Or like January 6th, where we knew Trump was responsible. I know I wasn't the only person saying there's more to this, there's more to this, there's more to this. But when January 6th, the trials came out, we kind of got a full picture of how widespread and how crazy it was, going up to the top, to Ginny Thomas, to all over the place. So it's like that. It just feels like it has tentacles, like it's going to just grow. So, but I feel like I don't feel like they're trying to like save people, but I feel like they're giving them a heads up with like, we're onto this. We're listening to you. We're watching you. So, but I feel like there's a lot more to this that's coming out. And I feel a lot of people are going to get wrapped up in this and probably turning other people in and probably cooperating and that kind of stuff as well. And it does feel like it kind of it kind of feels around like February, because it feels like late winter or something. But it feels like winter. So, but I feel like it's after the election. So I feel like there may be more stuff coming out before, but to me, it kind of feels like it really blows up about after around January or February. Timing's weird, but that's kind of what it feels like. Linda asked if you can look at the health of both Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. The health of Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. I feel like with Kamala Harris, I feel like they're both good, like fine. I feel like with Kamala Harris, there's something in her that runs in her family she's going to have to be careful of. It almost feels like something in joints, like arthritis or something. But it doesn't feel like it's anytime soon. But it's like be aware of this or be careful of this. With Tim Walz, it feels like there's either like a blood pressure or like cholesterol or something. It feels like it's, and to me, these things just feel like be careful of this or remember this. So those are the things that come up for them that are even kind of remotely could be problems down the line. But right now, it doesn't feel like there's anything right now, at least that I'm picking up, so yeah. Pooping, what does that say? Pooping our collective pants as we think about this. But how will the September 10th, Adam's birthday, debate go? Last time it didn't go well for Dems. Yes, it didn't go well. Okay, I'm going to look at this. And are they sitting down for this? Does anyone know if they're going to be sitting down? For some reason I just saw them sitting down. I don't know if that's like they'll literally be sitting down, or if there's something like, I don't know. 1 second. Okay. So one thing that's going to happen, that Donald Trump is really, really not going to like is Kamala is going to explain a lot of things that, okay, I think I understand this. She's going to explain a lot of things that his people maybe have never heard before. One feels like it's about Afghanistan. Another one feels like it's about the border. I feel like she's going to kind of how like Hillary kind of blew the whistle about like Russia and Putin and everything. It's like that. And I feel like she's gonna say things that, and put them in an understandable way. And it's going to be very upsetting to him. I feel like he kind of loses it a little bit. I keep getting something about, he brings up her, I got this before, like he brings up her dad or her mom and dad or something. But I feel like she's very prepared. You know, he's predictable and unpredictable, right? So many, he has the same playbook all the time, right? Just like rapid fire lies. You don't know what to, tackle first, but I feel like she knows exactly the points she wants to get across, and she gets them across. Afghanistan, there's something about Afghanistan that's going to come up. So just remember that I said that. There's something important about that. And like it's like putting it on him, or laying it with him in a way his people have never heard that before. So I feel like he kind of loses it almost a little bit. So those are the things I'm picking up. Okay. It's not this, it was weird with the Biden one, because I felt like in a way it felt kind of like nothing happened, which is the opposite. Maybe it was just because he was so kind of non-responsive. He wasn't really responding in the way that we thought he should. I did get that he gets a couple of zingers in. I remember that really clearly. And it kind of felt like Trump was the same old obnoxious him. But yeah. And so, but this one, there feels like there are moments. There are going to be some real moments in this one. And I feel like she's she studied other debates. She studied him. It's very, in a way, very calculated, because the way that he can kind of get you going off track and going kind of all over the place. And I feel like she's very like focused in exactly where she wants to go and what she wants to get across. Prepared. Yes, Miss Charlotte, prepared. But not over prepared. It just feels like these are the things we have to get across. These are the things we're going to get across regardless of what he does. And that's what she's going to do. That's what she's there to do.
Two things. first thing, just for everyone, and I learned this from Hell Spark, so I'll give him full credit. The Gish Gallop is the fire hose of lies and nonsense that he lays down, and it's a technique for basically like overwhelming, because it takes a lot more work and energy to respond and rebut a false accusation. And when you string like 12 of them together, it becomes almost impossible. But she'll be prepared for this. And the strongest way is you either take one of the arguments, like that's most easy to pierce, and by doing that you sort of pierce all the others, or you just take like the last one or the first one. So Gish Gallop, that's a good thing to sort of like be aware of that term. Maybe if you're arguing with Republican GOP friends who as well, to sort of like indicate what the technique is. And then the second thing is someone in the chat pointed out actually as well, it will be a stand-up, it will be behind podiums, they won't be sitting down. Usually it's the VP debate that you sit down.
So they sit down? Okay.
Podiums, the mics will be cut, which the Dems had said they didn't want, because they wanted basically Trump to hang himself with his nonsense. They felt like in the first 2020 debate with Biden, he kind of like hurt himself by going on, and Biden won with the will you just shut up, man?
Yeah.
So they didn't win that one, but yeah, I think there'll be plenty of opportunity for like that counterpunching.
Okay.
This is what she's done her whole life, right? Standing as a prosecutor, the defense makes these like often insane claims, and she has to like basically pop them all and lay down what her version of the reality is. So
right. That's exactly what it sounds like, or what it kind of feels like she's going to do. And I don't know where I saw them sitting down. Maybe they'll be like on equal footing or something. I don't know. I'll have to think about that one.
Maybe she'll stand on a box, because she's pretty
short. Yeah, maybe they'll be like the same height or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Take away his.
I'm not sure what that means.
Or maybe you see her cutting him off at the knees. So figuratively, she brings him down to her.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, maybe. Okay. Deanne asked if Trump will have a mental collapse this year. Alternatively, has it already happened, and that's the mess we're witnessing? Yeah. Okay. Let me just kind of check in with what's going on. They're putting the imagery I'm seeing is kind of like a person, like they're playing with like Barbies. It's like a Ken doll, and they're placing it in different places, like sitting in the couch, sitting over here. So I feel like they've taken control of him, and they're already only putting him in places that they want to put him in. So like these cushy interview things that he's been doing with they're weird interviews. Because the interviewers are weird too. So, but it's like they're placing him in these kind of safe places, but I feel like they've kind of taken control in a way, which is unusual for him, but it feels like they're kind of deciding where he goes and what he does, and they're keeping it kind of, I feel like they are kind of doing it for his mental state, but also damage control, trying not to put him in situations that he can't get into too much trouble, and if you've got a cushy interview with leading you in every question, you're a good Christian, right? That kind of stuff. It feels like you can't do too much damage. And they can help him if he does, but it feels like it's actually quite controlled. I feel like his mood is very depressed. It feels very when I kind of move into his energy, it's always anger. It's always like frustration, anger, irritation, upset. It feels very just down. depressed, low. Yeah, just feeling low energy, feeling down. Everything feels depressed. Even his like energy level, everything just feels like it's low. So that's what I'm getting. So in a way, I think they're just trying to get to the finish line without him doing too much damage. You know, I feel like there may not be that many rallies. You know, I feel like it might be more like what he's been doing. Yeah, they don't want him out there doing the weave. They don't want him to do that. So yeah, Sleepy Dawn, exactly. So yeah, so that's what I'm getting. Is Trump suffering from PTSD from being shot at? No, but we're suffering from PTSD from him. I was thinking today, you know, that this whole like election, that, you know, him being a part of the election again, it really has like re-traumatized everybody. I think it's really upsetting, you know, that we have to we can't get a break. You know, we can't get a rest from this guy. I think people are going to be so thrilled when he is finally gone. I will be, but it just feels like this. It feels like, you know, we're back with all the lies and all the gaslighting and all the stuff. It really is like re-traumatizing everybody. PTSD. You know, kind of. I feel like it's actually taken kind of a form of paranoia. So I feel like he's kind of paranoid. It makes sense because I think, you know, he always felt safe with his own people, right? Take the mags away. You know, they don't want to hurt me. It rattled him that this was one of his people. I think that's why we're not hearing about it at all. It was one of them. And so, and I think it's made him a little paranoid is kind of the way it comes across, because I feel like, and that also may be why he's doing these more controlled, you know, indoor kind of situations rather than the kind of outdoor, you know, things that we've seen before. And it also may be why he's down as well, because we know that a lot of his life's blood came from those weird rallies that he would do. So, but so yes, if it is PTSD, it's to me, it feels like it's taken the form of kind of a paranoia. Like I don't know who to trust, kind of that kind of thing. Yeah. Trump got shot in the ear. Did he get shot in the ear? I feel like that's not the case. Ear grew back with no apparent injury. Can your guys explain the mounted dragon? Yes, exactly. It wasn't shot, right? He wasn't shot. They're showing me like a piece, like a triangle piece of plastic, and to me, I don't know where it came. I don't know what that's from. If it's from the monitor, if it's from the speaker, if it's from the podium. I don't know what it's from, but they're showing me a small triangle piece of like plastic, like, yeah, like plastic. So at the most, I feel like by showing me that, I feel like at the most his ear was cut. So it was like and I don't know about how like ears. I know with like head things, you can bleed a lot. And so I don't know about with ear things. I used to pierce ears. You think I'd know, but I know you can. Your ears do bleed. But there was also people, remember, shot behind him. So it may not have been all his blood. It could have been other blood, which I don't want to get, be graphic, but it could also be that too, that there was just around him blood, But, oh, Adam says there's a ton of blood from ears. Okay. So what I'm getting is a little piece of plastic that may have been like shot off and ricocheted onto his ear. And to me, it's like a little cut, like a cut. Okay. Mountain Dancer said I had my ears snipped in my hairdresser one time and it bled a lot. Yeah. So it was a cut, which makes sense as to why there's no apparent, because if it had been shot off, right, it doesn't grow back. That is not, that's not a magic trick.
Okay, I'm going to correct myself. According to AI, Google's AI, no ears don't bleed a lot, but that's from minor injuries. And I do think right at the beginning, the dominant narrative was that the teleprompter had basically been hit and shrapnel from it had basically hit his ear and maybe like his face or above his ear. And that made the most sense to me, because we saw the video a lot from that first day. And then they grabbed hold of the narrative, and I guess that wasn't enough for them. And Trump did his typical thing of I was shot. Okay, so now he's established he was shot even though he wasn't. Where was he shot? In his ear. And then Ronnie Jackson, or Ronnie Johnson, I forget because Trump forgets, said he had the top of his ear shot off, which he clearly did not, and then he had that giant bandage, my pillow for ear injuries, from Mike Lindell. It would look like a big pillow that everyone was wearing. But then when it finally came off, it's ta-da, my ear's fine. Perfectly good, 9, never been touched. Shot it with an AR-15. Even there were reconstructions, a couple of ones I saw online where people showed an AR-15 passing that bullet, passing that close to the head, causes damage even without hitting the ear, and would cause damage potentially to the brain and the skull because the velocity of it and the bullet wobbles. It's not a straight thing. It's not literally a straight shot. Bullets wobble. They're pieces of metal fired out of high-powered machinery. And when they reach a distance, it was 200 feet or whatever, 150 feet, they're not just following a straight line. They're not like a laser.
Right,
they're a piece of metal floating in space, wobbling and distorting. So it's very unlikely that he was ever hit with the actual bullet.
Yeah. No, he keeps saying, and it's so typical that everything that, no matter what it is, even if it's something like that, which is it's harrowing, it's scary, he's still got to lie about it. He's still got to exaggerate about it. It's so him. It's just so him, So had he actually got shot in the ear, he'd say he got shot in the head. He'd keep saying he got shot in the head. He has to just keep, lying, no matter what. Ay. Okay. Beth asked if there will be follow-up charges for the attempted assassination of Trump. Follow-up charges. Get charges. I'm getting there might be follow-up questions about it or almost like a hearing kind of thing, but it it doesn't seem like charges. It doesn't feel like that. It doesn't feel like that. It is weird how it just kind of, for such a big thing, you know, it's been a long time since we've had an assassination attempt, and yet it's weird. And I think it may be partly because it's one of them. Had it been some Democrat or something like that, I think we'd be hearing about it a lot more. But because it was a person who was in the MAGA world, I think it's kind of like, okay, nothing to see here. Everybody move along. Maybe a hearing or two, but to me, it doesn't feel like charges. Okay. Is Trump Dumpty getting security briefings? He could sell that intel. Oh, again, right? It's just so like, oh, we don't want to go through this again. It's so terrifying. But that's a really good question, and one I have not looked at. So let me look at that. I feel like yes, but it is limited. I mean, it's very, very limited. And I feel like there's almost no like international stuff. It's all kind of national and nothing really international. It feels very and very, very selected. It's not anywhere near everything. It's a very small, very few things. So yes, but very, very limited. Yeah. And they drew like a perimeter around the US, like just in here. So not any international stuff. It all feels like it's very inside the US. We can all sleep tonight. A little easier. Judge Chutkin and Jack Smith were back in court today. Will anything come of this case before November 5th, such as new info for the public to see? Yes, because I saw that before. It almost looked like a type of a hearing or a type of a something where they were presenting this stuff. And so I feel like there will be something, whether we'll just hear about it, I don't know. You know, there'll be like court drawings and we'll just hear about it. I don't know. Or if it's going to be shown, but I saw that before. So I'm saying yes, and I'm going to just check on it again to make sure it's the same kind of thing that I was seeing before. It didn't feel like an actual trial. It just felt like, here's everything. Here's the information. Here's the stuff. Witness. So there'll be witnesses too. Some kind of witnesses or some kind of testimony from witnesses. So yeah, I'm getting the same thing. So yeah, there'll be something. And we have the right to know, right? I mean, this guy wants to be president. We have the right to know. It's kind of important. Jack Smith has apparently indicated he will file new evidence in the January 6th case we haven't seen before. Any insights into this? Okay. New evidence we haven't seen before. they're focusing in on that part of the story where he wants to go to the, he like wants to make his driver go to the Capitol. So they're focusing in on that for some reason. And there's also something about, what's the other thing? About his, like his inner circle. So I'm seeing like the lawyers and like Mark, what's his name? Mark Meadows. Sorry, I kept thinking Millie, Mark Meadows, and people like that. So I'm seeing those, and like those lawyers and stuff that were around, I'm seeing that. So there may be stuff we don't know about that time period where stuff was said or stuff happened. And there also may be something about the like the fake electors and all of that. But those two, they're showing me those, like showing me that like inner circle, like talking, and then also that story about him wanting to drive up to the Capitol. So there's something about that as well. So that's what I'm getting. I'm asking about anything else, but those are the things I'm getting. So it's either stuff stemming from those things, you know, or around those time periods where those things were happening. So that's what I'm. Okay, Rick Wilson suggested in an online retort to the threat of being sued that he welcomes the discovery process because Rick claims Trump is skimming money off MAGA donations. Thoughts?
And just for people who, if they don't recognize the name, Rick Wilson is the head of the Lincoln Project.
Yeah. So for entertainment purposes only, I see a lot of like underhanded stuff, but it also has to do with like the party money as well. But yes, I mean, he's right. But and also they keep showing things like the shoes that he put out and the cards, and so there's something along with that as well that is not. Are people like not getting what they think they're getting or something? Or like ordering it, it's not showing up or something?
I think that has happened with different products.
Okay.
You know, sometimes, so like the Midas Touch, Ben Masalas will often talk about people ordering, like, act now and get this like little badge of, you know,
right.
American flag with Trump on, and then people just not getting it, or not getting it for like 6 months or a year, you know. And this has been a continuous thing of them promising people who like put in orders for those ugly ass Trump shoes, you know, Trump sneakers, who still haven't received them, I believe, because they're all like back ordered. It's vaporware.
Yeah, because I feel like I think they're going to find it's not accidental. It's kind of like when they were charging people monthly for monthly fees, and they thought they were just giving a one-time donation. It's kind of like that. It's like, well, if they kick up a fuss, go ahead and send it to them, but let's just, like, we're not going to send it to them. So it's kind of like it's kind of a scam. It's like they can, how to explain it, but it's kind of like if people complain, go ahead and send them the stuff or give them the stuff. But if they don't send it. Everything's on the cheap, you know, everything is like, because it feels like it's phony, it's fake. It's like they're paying for stuff they're not going to get, or they're believing that they're going to be like in a you know, entered into a contest or something, but it's not real. It's so everything seems a little phony and fake and like kind of taking people, you know, making people, you know, have to really push to get what they ordered and stuff before they'll send it. And hoping just people just let it go or forget about it or give people the run around and stuff. It feels like that. So yeah, I mean, everything he does, right, is just kind of a little bit sleazy and scammy and stuff. And this feels like the same kind of thing. So it's I don't know why the merchandise came up, but that came up. So there's something that's off with all this merchandise they're trying to get, you know, to sell. But then it does feel like skimming from the Republicans, skimming from his own donations. It's all, he just wants, you know, he wants it all. He just wants all the money and he wants to do what he wants to do with it. Particularly, you might even see more of that as he realizes he may lose. Then it's like, well, why are we even giving money to this? If I'm going to lose, I'm going to put it in my pocket so I can go to Saudi Arabia when this is done or whatever. So you can see how he might, you know, as this unfolds, he might even take more. But this is for entertainment purposes only. I don't have any inside information. I'm just, you know, just talking. But yeah, what I'm getting. Speaking of scams, his company stock DGT has dropped to 17. Oh, wow. From a high of 75. And I don't think it's going up. Thoughts on this? Well, everything Trump touches dies. Isn't that one of the writers that writes about him says everything? You don't bet on that guy. Okay, let's see about the stock. Where is it going? Yeah, it looks like it's going to keep. I'm just seeing an arrow pointing down, but I'm also seeing like people I'm seeing like people bailing out of an airplane, but I feel like people were going to bail out or, you know, go out with them, but they have a parachute. So maybe there's some people who will get out with something or get out with some money. But I feel like you'll start seeing people bailing out of it. And it kind of feels like it's soon. It doesn't feel like it's like months and months away. It feels like it's close.
Well, Trump had a lockup for like 6 months, I think, before he could sell. At the moment that he sells, because he will still make a lot of money when he sells, he will kill it because basically all the value will have gone. I mean, it was never there, really, but any perceived value will have gone once he withdraws. And apparently Devin Nunes has already taken money out. You know, he's like the CEO of the company. So it is an enormous scam. And I just hope that the SEC looks into it and like gets discovery, and maybe people do a class action on it, because there's some really hinky stuff going on with it. Even like the co-founder is suing Trump, right? Because he was basically forced out of the company. There were like two guys who brought this to Trump, and he basically signed on and took everything. He's like, 95% for me? No, 100%. And like, they just kicked them to the curb, and it was all they're doing. They put the deal together. I mean, I have no sympathy for them, because you get into, well, you always love the phrase, you know, sleep down with sleeping dogs. Was it? Anyway,
you lie down with dogs, you get fleas. Adam always says, when you lie down with fleas, you get dogs. Yes. But yeah, that kind of, definitely correlates with what I'm getting for sure. Hunter Biden pled guilty to federal tax charges. Why did he suddenly change his plea to federal tax charges? Why did he suddenly change his plea? I feel like there may have been a fear, either a fear or a threat of another charge or something else being added. So I feel like that's why. I think I'm getting that right. I'm asking if he was told that or he just feared that, but it kind of feels like it was talked about and it has something to do with that. At least that's what I'm getting, that it has something to do with fearing there'd be some other charge or something. Yeah, something about that. There's some other charge that was, if he pled guilty, wouldn't come up or wouldn't be brought up. Yeah, that's how it's coming across to me. I don't know a lot about how these, how cases and pleas and stuff work, but it's almost like fear of something else happening, and this is why I just pled guilty to this, so this would all go away, or this would all be done. That's what it, yeah. Like it's getting dark in here all of a sudden. Can you look forward to the January 20th, 2025 inauguration, and will it go on peacefully? I'm hearing this song, Oh Happy Day, Oh Happy Day. I'm hearing that. And I am seeing Kamala Harris. I'm also seeing Joe Biden, though. I don't know if he speaks or he's there or I guess he would handle the presidency, right? So that makes sense. Okay. To me, it feels like the inauguration is peaceful. The inauguration is fine. The closer we get, we can look at that in-between period between November and January to see what's going to go on there. Because I think some of the disruption kind of stuff they're planning is going to be kind of nipped in the bud. I feel like it's kind of like the last time in 2020 when they did all this shenanigans with the post office and all that stuff. It's like it was too early so they could address it. It's almost like they did it too early, and this feels like the same kind of thing, even though it's scary, that there are these, boards of electors and stuff like that. But I feel like there's going to be a lot of stuff taken care of before the election even happens. It's like there's lawsuits going on and there's people on top of this stuff. So I feel like if we get a little bit closer to maybe look at it, maybe like at the end of the month or even October, we might get a really good idea of what's going to be happening between November and January, because that's kind of the part that is a little, whoa, what's going to happen? But Inauguration Day seems fine. And I'm seeing that Kamala Harris is there. So that's what I'm getting. As of today, as of September 5th, 2024. Yeah, so that's what I'm getting. Will Ted Cruz to a bruising losing? Okay. Ted Cruz to a bruising losing. There's something with money. He can't get money, or he doesn't have money, or he runs out of money, or something with money happens with him. I'm going to say a soft yes. I feel like he can't get over, he can't quite get over the finish line. And I feel like it's because of money. So we may hear about in the next month or so that he's running out of money, or he doesn't have any money, or he's running out. He's running out of money. It just feels like he can't get over the finish line. And I feel like the guy running against him is loaded with money. So I think it comes down to kind of who's able to spend the most. Sadly, I mean, that's kind of sad, but it just feels like he can't quite get over the finish line because of that. And it feels like he loses, but it feels so close. So I'm going to say like a soft yes, he loses. But to me, I'm picking it up as being money. The money's the problem. Which is weird for a Republican candidate who's been around that long. Usually they're the ones that get all the money. So
yeah, but not this time, right? The down ballot races, Trump has basically siphoned it off. He's been like a little beaver building a dam,
right,
and all the money's gone to him.
His daughter-in-law's in charge of
his daughter-in-law, and they're taking all the cash. And again, according to Rick Wilson, he believes that he has evidence that he's siphoning it off the top, maybe to do a Russian run, or to have his after presidency. Maybe he isn't really interested in the race anymore. He certainly does. People on Reddit are all like, "Is Trump even in this anymore? Is he even trying? He's not really doing anything. Maybe he's just planning for the after party." So
yeah,
I wouldn't, never trust a big hairy spider in the room with you, because it'll end up in your mouth or something.
And he is a big hairy spider. A couple of people asked this a few different ways. Is the Trump era almost done? Will a Kamala Walz win mean we're finally free? I'm feeling that. Aren't you guys feeling that this is coming to a close? And I think it's going to depend on the size of the win. If he is stomped, which is what I'm just, because I feel like he's going to lose, and it's going to be by a bigger margin than even Biden was. But I want it to be much bigger than that, because I feel like if it's a complete stomping of all of them, we will be done. He'll be gone. But let me ask, how do I ask this question? Let's see. How about I'll ask if the momentum kind of stays where it is and kind of keeps along this same kind of momentum, will we be done with this Trumpism? Trump. So they're showing like a, like when a balloon is blown up and then you don't tie it and you let it go and it kind of just goes around. So there'll be some kind of like a little bit of wildness before, or a little bit of like, whoa, what's happening before it ends. But it seems like we're on the verge of kind of the beginning of the end, or an ending. But it's a little nuts. It's a little crazy as it goes down, or as it peters out. You think about people that don't have it, right, have put money into this guy, followed him around, it is like a cult leader, and then you find out the cult leader is, leaving town with all your money or whatever he's going to do. It's going to be hard for people. It's going to be really, really hard for people. So there's some kind of, we'll check in again. Like I said, as we get closer, we'll check in with all this stuff again. But it feels a little, as this balloon pops or loses air, it's a little nuts. It just seems like people are going to have a hard time and may act it out in weird ways. But it does feel like the kind of the beginning of the end of this, or the middle of the end. I think that, everybody's so tired. Everybody's so, even Republicans are tired, right? Because my guide said it's going to be like it's a campfire taking on a tidal wave. That's how this is going to end. And you can see it building, right? The coalition is building. Now Liz Cheney's on board. All these Republicans are coming on board. Now there's Republicans for Harris, and there's white guys for Harris, and there's all these groups forming. You can see the wave building, right? And I just, say I don't believe the polls, but it does not, it feels like something is so different. The energy is completely different. Something is happening. Something has moved. Something has shifted. We all feel it. So, and they were right. I mean, my guide said it was going to be, a lot was going to change between, I think we asked back in like February or March, and they're like, a lot's going to change. Don't worry about what's going on right now. A lot's going to change. A lot's going to happen. And yeah, a lot's happening, and has happened. But it's all leading us in a direction. You feel that, right? I think that it's just because of 2016, because he seems like Cape Fear will never go. It keeps coming back, keeps coming back. It's like Jason, that it's hard to believe that this could finally be it. But I do think that this is it. I'll go on record on September 5th, 2024, and say, I think this is it. So good job, everybody. It only took, 9 years or whatever it's been. But yeah. And not everybody survived, right? All right, everybody. Well, it's we went a little bit over, but that's okay. It's kind of our first night back with the whole gang and everybody here. Thanks, Adam, for your help. Thanks, everybody. And I know Mary says we're almost afraid to relax into it, but yeah, but yeah, it's you can feel it. You can feel it. Okay, I'm going to go up just a little bit, and if you want me to say good night to you and thank you personally, I'm happy to do that. I'm going to start with. I won't start as high as I did last time. It went on and on and on. It's like, oh gosh. Okay, so Sheila Crabtree, thank you so much. Yeah. Joni S, AJ Lowe, Lisa, Craig Dixon. Hi, Craig. Hi, Sparky. Thank you, anybody else too who is helping with greeting and everybody that was helping Adam tonight. Thank you so much. Polly Wanda, Paulette Riddle, Michelle Maybell, Truth, Ness, Melinda Rogers. Thanks so much. Joni S, Running Sloth, and H, War in Ukraine, Lisa Field. Thanks so much. Leslie F, J Haynes, Rob Falgiano. Thank you so much. Thanks, Rob. Nice to see you. Melinda Rogers, Ink and Flame Insights. Leslie F, Aspie Third Eye, Truth. Op Yop. Heather J.M., Terry, Paulette Riddle. Hi, Paulette. Hi, Gigi. Gigi Pardo Lord. Running Sloth. Carol Gallagher, thanks so much. Pegasus. Betty Harper. Deborah Hall. Laura Stanton. Stacy J. Sterling Roses, Char on the Harp, Kimmy G, Cynthia Pierce, War in Ukraine. I already said that. Truth. Oh, thank you, Truth. And let me thank these people. Glenda Wingtier just joined our club. Welcome. We have our movie next week is going to be The Truman Show. We're going to look at all the spiritual messages within The Truman Show. One Tenari, Thelma Schaefer, Running Sloth. And we also have Glinda, you'll be in our next group of mini readings. So good job. Whoops. Okay. Debbie W., Jane Finley English, Amara, Jamie Johnson, Rhonda Dillenberg, Mountain Sunshine. Oops. I'm way up here now. How did I do that? Where am I? Where the heck did I go? Sorry, guys. I lost my place. Oh, there I am. Deborah Hall, Beth Mullen, James Cox, J Cat Lady, Debbie W., Rhonda Dillenberg, Mountain Sunshine, Leslie F., Sweetie Darling Lulu, Meg Garrow, Karen Conroy, thanks so much. Brenda Rendon, thanks so much. Obsidian Iris, thanks, Adam. Lisa Dubell. Lily Rose, Lucretia Valdez, Brady, Dan Artist Painter, thanks so much. Chris Queen, David Mackham, Pegasus, Desiree W., Melinda Rogers, I keep saying the same names over and over again, sorry about that. Noelle Douglas, Barb Luminary, Linda Sherrill, Diane Owens, Running Sloth, thank you so much. Kelly Bourne, Paulette Riddle, Liz L., Sterling Roses, Terry at Holding Your Space. Hi, Terry. Nice to see you. JM, Sparky, Prince Charming's mom, Pamela Doss, Gigi by the Sea, Nancy D., Daniel Galligan, Rob Valgiano. Oh, thank you, Rob. That's so nice of you. It is so nice to have everyone back together. Constance Campbell, Prairie Griffith, Ness, Running Sloth. I think I got everybody. Constance Campbell. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for showing up and hanging out and making this a nice night back on our regular night. And I will see you guys in 2 weeks at this time. All right, guys, take care, everybody. Thank you so much. Good night.